I'm speaking with Louis Stang with the Kinsman Club. How are you today?
Really good. Yourself?
I'm very good. So on February 6th, which is a Saturday, will be the Telemiracle Steak Night. Can you tell me more about this event and what it's bringing to residents?
Yeah, absolutely. So we've been running our Telemiracle Steak Night fundraiser for many years now. Typically, we're down at the Stockade Convention Center serving steaks to people, dance and music and silent auction, all that kind of stuff. And this year, because of COVID, we're doing it a lot differently. So this year on February 6th, we're asking people to still support us by buying steak, and the Kinsman and Connect clubs at Lloydminster will be delivering it to your door. So a little bit different than normal, but we're still going to entertain you. So we have a live stream that we will be running through YouTube and Facebook video, and the band will be Buds Busted Nine Irons, which is a local band. And Jason Whiting and Maz Entertainment are helping us live stream that. So we'll be having that going on, and we'll still be running our silent auction, but rather than having it live at the event, we'll be doing it through the website 32 Auctions, and we'll be running it all week rather than just that night to give people more opportunity to look at things and bid on them and help us raise money for Telemiracle.
So the Telemiracle Steak Night this year, that's happening all COVID style then?
Yeah, absolutely. We're a little bit later in the planning stages than we would normally be, just because we were waiting on the changes through the Christmas and New Year's season and seeing if we were still able to go ahead with it and what that would look like. So tried to delay our decision on what we were doing as long as possible, but we still definitely wanted the event to go forward, because things like this, missing a year is a really big deal, both from raising funds, but also just the momentum of keeping things going year to year. One fear we had was if we don't do this fundraiser this year due to COVID, then how it's just more difficult to take up and pick up next year. So we're really after our main sponsors that have supported us over the years to stay on with us, and all the patrons that we've had over the years to keep us going. So.
And what other organizations are all involved with this event?
So it's the Kinsman and Connect clubs of Lloydminster are putting on the event in support of Telemiracle. Telemiracle is a Saskatchewan fundraiser, used to help people in all sorts of different needs, mostly medical related. And Telemiracle was started by the Kinsman and Connect clubs of Saskatchewan. So that's kind of how it all ties together.
And what are all the proceeds helping with the Telemiracle event that's coming at the end of February?
For those that is, Lloydminster is kind of a little bit different case, being both Saskatchewan and Alberta. But growing up in Saskatchewan, Telemiracle's a huge event, raising millions of dollars to help the people of Saskatchewan. They'll help with things like wheelchairs, lifts, handyman societies, things like that. They'll donate money to hospitals for specialized equipment, help with medical bills, especially, people maybe that don't live in the city, live in rural communities, but for whatever medical reason have to be, say, in Saskatoon or Regina for extended periods of time, or even, say, somewhere further and need help. And Lloydminster being the border city, anybody can, if they do have a need that Telemiracle could support. Telemiracle does support Lloydminster residents on both sides of the border.
And for this steak night coming up, how has support been from residents so far?
So far, it's been really positive. We've reached out to our previous sponsors, and for the most part, they've all come back on. Not all have confirmed yet. I wish I could share more, but so far, Synergy Credit Union and Dynasoft Communications have both come back on, and some of our previous sponsors are still pending, but we're working on them. Sold quite a few tickets already, which is awesome. Different this year is because on the ticket side, we typically are, it's a over 19 event. It's like a licensed event. But this year, because we're delivering to people's homes, we have actually offered a kids meal to be delivered as well. So that people can order their steaks for maybe themselves and bring in food for their children as well. So they don't have to worry about, whipping up a pot of craft dinner or something for their kids. So,
Yeah.
and then that also helps raise money for our event as well.
And is there anything else you want to add for people to know about?
For all businesses in Lloydminster, we're definitely accepting silent auction items. In a typical year, we have 100 silent auction items for people to bid on, and we're hoping to reach that point again this year. The other thing is for tickets, if you've never been to our event, this will give you a good taste of what it's like. We normally cap the event at about 550 tickets just due to the restrictions that the stockade puts on us. But this year, with no building restrictions, we're hoping to sell 1,000 steaks in Lloydminster. It's a lofty goal, but we're really hoping that the community gets behind us and is able to support us for this. So,
For people who don't know, where can they go find online for these tickets?
yeah, so they can. We have something out on all our social media feeds, both Kinsman and Kinetz through Facebook and Twitter, and that's kind of the main way to find us. If you Google Lloydminster Telemiracle Steak Night or Kinsman Telemiracle Steak Night, it'll come up for sure. So,
Perfect. Well, thank you so much for joining me today, Louis.
yeah, thanks, Shelby.